Are you in need of love help, relationship help of any type, or a love psychic reading, which does exist, by the way? If so, you have stumbled upon the perfect place. My name is Liz Garcia, and I'm here to introduce you today to Cheryl Murphy. And Cheryl is a spiritual medium and psychic clairvoyant type. And she has had a lot of experience with people that are looking for help in the realm of their relationships with another. And Cheryl, why don't you tell us a little bit about what people are coming to you for?
Thanks, Liz. You know, a lot of people come to me asking about love and relationships, among the many other questions that I'm asked. And usually they ask me if is Mr. Right or is Miss Right, compatible with me. And so what I'm doing to help them is I'm doing an energy scan to see if there's any chords that they are connected to a previous love with. And so I help them with it's like a compatibility chart, and it's not astrology, it's kind of an energy compatibility chart and what would complement their energy. So that's what I'm looking at. And some of the questions that come in ask me about an old flame or an old love, will we reunite? And sometimes I do ask our guides to come in to help us with that question. But once again, I'm looking at energy cords and connecting, and I'm looking at where energy is being flowed to. So that really helps determine if maybe a relationship is draining one of the partners, or if it's an even exchange of energy and respect, because it is a really sacred it's a sacred relationship to have. Anytime you union with someone, you want to respect their space as well.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Many of us get entangled in blame and hurt and what did I do wrong? Am I not good enough?
Yeah.
And so I would think, Cheryl, it's important to say she's not here to tell you what you should do in a relationship. And I think we all have our own knowingness of what is right and wrong. But maybe she can give you a higher perspective of that relationship, relationships that are coming or whatever. I mean,
right, because we all have free will, and we can change the future with a single thought. And so so we are in control of our lives, and we do wish and dream for the Mr. Right or Miss Right to come along. I mean, we all have that wish, or many of us do. And
that must be pretty common.
It's very common, and it's a great question, and I'm certainly here to help. And people ask me timelines, and I sometimes I pick up a timeline, and sometimes I don't, and I try to be honest with that also. But also there are people that we just date for a while, and that is still a learning lesson for us. So I do try to open people up to, there is a Mr. or Mrs. Right coming for you, but in the meantime you might have a boyfriend or two, but that's perfectly okay, or a girlfriend, because that's okay, because you're meant to be with these people that we do connect with, and there are reasons why we connect. And what's fascinating is that we've had past lives with some of these people before, and that's why we're drawn to them again in the future. And that's a real touchy subject, because it's so romantic and it's so strong and it's so passionate that if there's something is unbalanced in the relationship, it's probably carried from a past life in order to heal in this lifetime. So sometimes we bring a problem into this life again in order to help heal it.
So I do have another question for you. Do you find many people that, are they kind of open to what you have to say? Are they willing to listen to the higher good here? And I'm thinking we're going to cut it for a second while we wait for the phone.
That's funny.
So Cheryl, in regards to relationships, I would think that, when someone is feeling hurt in a relationship and they want to hold on, a lot of people want to hold on. I know, I've held on, and it took me a lot to let go of somebody. But are most people listening at the deepest level, where there is knowing that what you're saying is true in regard, I had someone tell me that there is no future with this relationship. It's not meant to me. You got to let it go. As much as it hurt me, I had to let it go. is this a common thing or not necessarily?
It's common. And what happens is we long for people in our hearts that have left us, for example, or we don't understand why they broke up. And so we miss them and we want them back. And so not only do you want them back, but your energy, you're sending out your energy and you're pulling on them to come back. And believe it or not, that actually creates a resistance, and they feel that pulling and they don't know why they're feeling a pulling, but then...
And then they're repulsed.
And then they're repelling. They're moving farther away.
Yeah.
And it's not healthy for us to be pulling on people, so to example, and we may know we're doing it or not. I mean, certainly our intention is not to do it, but energetically we might be doing that, and that's what I try to help people understand. And usually after my readings with people, I hear that, you know, Cheryl, I was kind of thinking that, and you know, you just kind of brought more light to it, or you brought, you know, more understanding to why I was feeling that way, and I do feel a little bit better about the situation. But you know, it is it's a delicate situation to be discussing, but there is a lot of love out there for everyone, and there is some of us still, you know, that have that little bit of heartache left. Yeah.
So do you have many readings that are crystal clear, like, oh my God, the love of real life is coming?
I have had that experience.
Really? What is that like?
It's kind of like fireworks, you know. It's kind of like seeing everything fit together perfectly. And
how do you think that alignment comes about between two people?
You know, it's really the one that's asking the question. You know, you look at their names, you look at their date of births, you look at them energetically as just a perfect fit. I mean, and once again, you're reading the vibration and the energy of the two together. You know, once again, I'm always looking at energy. Is it balancing each other? Are we contributing to each other's well-being? Or is one of us, you know, demanding too much and we're pulling on the other one too much?
Right.
So that can be.
So two people that stand in their own power.
Stand independently, but yet can bring 100%, bring each to the relationship.
Now, when you see that clarity in a potential relationship, is it always with someone coming to you and say, hey, I like this person, I know them, this is their name, they're giving you a name, or is it someone you see in the future that they haven't met yet, or is it both?
It's more, well, the future, when people ask me about the future, I do my best to sometimes give them a timeline, and a name sometimes comes, but what I want to tell people about the future is we do have free will, and I try not to give a name only because I feel it limits people from looking at all the other beautiful people that are entering in their life. You know, I mean, there's so many beautiful, interesting people that we want to share our life with, that I would not want you to dismiss anyone for that gift that they brought you.
Yeah.
And so, but I do try to connect people in the present tense. The people that they're with now, I connect them with the present tense.
Because choices are always changing that futuristic energy, right?
Always, we have choices.
Regardless? I mean, you could give a name, but then someone else shows up with even better harmony that you dismiss because you're waiting for the name that may never show up because you keep looking for it.
Exactly. And then you yourself have changed because we're growing and evolving, and so our opinions or our differences, our likes and dislikes may have changed a little bit, are always shifting.
A better alignment.
Yes, we're becoming more of who we are. And but believe me, whoever we're with at the time, there's always a reason to be with the person we're with for whatever reason. So there's always that higher reason, and it's always to learn about ourselves and to
and that's everyone in general, not just a loved one. It's not just a romantic relationship.
Exactly, truly.
Appreciate
it could
everybody.
be a work relationship. It could be a neighbor relationship.
The love of your life could be a coworker. That's, you know, you would never marry, but you're like, oh my God, I love this, whatever.
Yeah,
that is worth. That's a treasure right there.
It is true.
Like this one.
Thank
my
you.
coworker.
Thank you, really.
So, so we've introduced you to the notion of using a gifted medium and psychic to help with any love questions that you have. No one's going to solve it for you. You're here to ultimately decide what is best for you. But we're going to give you we're going to do a little reading here, and I'm going to be the guinea pig for Cheryl. And just to show you what it would be like to, you know, questions you can ask and how Cheryl is kind of receiving information, and you can just get a little experience of a love psychic reading with Cheryl Murphy.
Great.
Okay. So, This would have to do with hanging on to somebody energetically.
Okay.
Okay.
Ask away.
So 10 years ago, I had separated from my husband, and I was heartbroken over it in a big way, huge. So I left the state I was living in to go be with some friends so I could deal with the heartache I was going through. And my sister, who does angel readings, all similar, a different type of reading, but she deals with the angels. She said, "Liz, you're gonna meet someone like right away." I'm like, I had no interest in it. I'm like, doesn't matter. I don't care. Why? I have no interest in that. So I met this gentleman like 10 days after I got to this other location I was at. And like,
That's incredible.
huge soul connection. This is when I opened to
Yeah, the
all
universe.
the universe.
All that is.
And I my first clairvoyant transmission was two angelic lights coming together as one. And the message was the power of this union is pretty phenomenal. So I took it literally. And on a soul level, for sure, but on a physical level, not so much. Like it wasn't, I mean, we saw each other a few times, a dozen times in 9 months or so. And then I had a breakdown because of this awakening I was in the middle of. It was very difficult to deal with. So I had a very hard time understanding why we weren't going to be together, couldn't be together, wasn't going to happen. And it took me, it almost made me physically ill not to be able to be with him again. Because I left where I was I had to move away and come back to Colorado because I felt I have to be here.
Much safer here for you.
So that relationship never really amounted to a whole lot, except for it did at another level.
What I felt what I'm feeling for you energetically with this person, and is, of course, we can go right into a past life and say that the two of you have been together in a past life before, to where it was such a romantic past life. That's why you were attracted to each other. But in this life, you decided not to have the physical existence or the physical relationship. It was more like a brother-sister or a friend-friend relationship.
You mean on a soul level that was the decision?
I feel,
type of thing?
yes, you made the agreement before you came into this life, but you did want to recognize each other, and I feel that you were a healer for each other in a past life, and that's why the two lights were so profound that you saw, and I do feel like he opened something up into you, and it's almost like he was a key unlocking a code for you.
Sure felt like that, yeah.
And his goal or his reason for being in your life was exactly for that amount of time to come together. And that when you guys did separate, he knew he was in agreement also that is the amount of time we were supposed to be together. And so he was fine with that also.
So I have to tell you, you think this could be like baloney, like why would we make agreements? Sometimes I'm like, why have agreements? What's the point of creation if you make agreements prior to stuff happening? So I seriously was absolutely devastated by not being with him. Even though I knew on a physical level there was really not much going on there, but I felt the soul connection, which was overwhelming. To feel soul love is different. It's like, oh my God, it's oh my God, totally. But this is even weird too, is to imagine that the spirit of a living person can come to you as well. This has happened to me often. I don't know if it happens that much to you, Cheryl, but I have people that are alive, their spirit come and speaks to me. Or my sister talks to me, she's like, hey Liz, I miss you. Or my mother, when she was alive, I totally would hear her, and my dad. And his spirit came to me because I was so distraught. For a year and a half, I literally cried every day, all day, which is like, what is going on here? His spirit came to me and he simply said, Liz, I promise to be this for you.
My God.
So take that, into any relationship, to know that this person said, I'm going to show up in this way for you. And, books from God would say this is like a huge gift. Conversations with God or something would say. I promise to come and be this for you. So
yes,
it's time to let go and move on, and know that it's okay.
And feeling so devastated when he left, and feeling so attracted to him when he was here, I hear a lot about that with people. They say they feel fireworks, they feel, the intense feeling all over their body. And for you specifically, Liz, the connection was more of a spirit recognition. It's almost like you were together more in spirit than you were in the
Totally.
physical. And so that power that the spirit has is so much more magnetic because it's so much bigger than we are.
Yes.
So you're just trying to maintain,
Hold your ground.
hold your ground, right?
Yeah,
You're
that's
just trying to
it, yeah.
hold on. So
Another
Yeah.
psychic kind of said the same thing, that
Yeah.
soul recognition is, she's like, you're done, you can't do anything about that.
right,
It's beyond you to
Mm.
contain what you're feeling,
nice.
except for it was painful too. There was absolute joy and
Yes.
love and everything, but letting go is the human part of that.
Yeah,
The soul's like, we're done, let's move on.
exactly. Because then he comes back to see you later. So,
Yeah.
but in spirit, like you
Yeah.
said, it's a living spirit. So
Yeah.
that's very, very, very cool story, and what a great example
Yeah.
to show people how we're connected energetically. I
Yeah.
mean, we are connected through spirit. We are recognizing each other, and we're certainly here to love and to share our love. So,
Yeah. All right, so let's do what everyone's going to want you to do.
what's everybody
Ready?
want me to do?
Okay, so I've been without a date for 10
Oh.
years,
10.
which is goofy because I'm pretty fun and cute.
Completion.
So let's see, look into the crystal ball and see what we feel in that regard. As far as, what's my energetic blueprint? Am I open and to receiving someone new in my life? And if not, what's in my way?
Okay, well, I'll tell you what I'm picking up for you, because we're going to ask Archangel Gabrielle to come through, because that's a recent guide for you, and that's who I'm going to ask to help support you in this situation. And what I feel from Gabrielle and what I feel from your energy body is that, all of this shifting happening with Liz, with you relocating to a new home, and then your business is booming, and we are thinking about changing your life in other ways and other shifting with exercise and so forth. But I do feel in a matter of months you have someone coming to you, and I feel if I'm to get a number, it's the number 8. And the reason why I pick 8 months from now is because 8 means the infinity number, that it's a
Okay.
continuum number sign.
Okay.
So I feel that romance is coming to you in the 8-month mark. Yeah. So I know it does feel long.
More.
I know it does feel far
okay.
away, but I
You
always
get
tell
used to
people
it. It's
that
like,
it does feel far
I'm not
away.
looking for it.
but-
So it's like if I start looking for it, it's not going to show up. So I'm not gonna look for it.
once again, that doesn't mean that there's that doesn't mean that you won't be meeting
Right. Yeah.
cute, wonderful people out there
Right in
that
between.
are adorable.
That's so
so-
funny. Adorable people. We like that. Cheryl, thank you so much for my mini love help reading. I
You're welcome,
appreciate that.
Liz.
And if any of you out there would like to connect with Cheryl Murphy in regards to getting some help with your love relationships or relationships in general, she's here to read the blueprint of your energy and the people that you're surrounded by and see where is their flow. Where is their blocks? Where is your highest good? Cheryl can help you with that. And please visit Cheryl's website that we're going to have at the bottom of the video here. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.